if you could. You remember that conversation we had 19 years ago at the family reunion? Yeah, it's me again.
It sounds like this is personal for you. We'll turn our attention to the Angels on the field now. And it will be the left-hander in Reed Detmers on the bump. That means a lot of righties in the lineup here for the Athletics. Tonight's starting lineup is brought to you by your Bay Area Chevrolet dealer. Shea Langoliers is going to lead it off as the DH tonight. Nick Kurtz is going to hit second. Then it's Colby Thomas, Brent Rooker, both playing in the outfield along with Henry Bolte. Zach Geloff, Jonah Heim's going to do the catching, Jeff McNeil, and Daryl Hernandez.
And the Southpaw on the bump this evening for the Southpaw Showdown. It is Reed Detmers for the Halos. 10th start of the season for the left-hander. You see the body of work, just about 50 innings, 49 and a third to be exact. ERA 4.20. Let's see if the Athletics can't roll up a dub here against Reed Detmers, who has frankly just had a mixed bag of results when you look at how his season has unfolded in totality. I feel like this is a left hand they could get to and get to early.
Let's look at the defense for the Angels and their City Connects here tonight. Logan O'Hoppe does the catching. It's Nolan Shonowell at first. Oswald Peraza is at second tonight. Zach Neto, well, he was the hero for the Angels last night back at shortstop. Von Grisham at the hot corner. And in the outfield, Jose Siri getting a start in left, was just called up from the minor leagues a few days ago. Mike Trout in center and Joe Adell in right field. And there he is, Kurt Suzuki, the former battery mate of Dallas Braden, of course, former Athletic, and now managing the Halos here in his first season. I'm sure you got the chance to catch up with him. I know yesterday, but probably today as well. His team right now sitting with the worst record in baseball, 17-31. They snapped that 6-game losing streak yesterday. And left the ballpark happy. Of course, for the Athletics, a very different story that we'll get into as this game goes on. 42 games for Shea Langoliers tonight, leading off and just doing the batting duties. He swings at the first offering from Detmers and misses. An 0-1 count. So we begin game 2.
And with Langoliers, and we'll get into it here, we got some housekeeping to do, but I think it's important to note in a discussion we'll have about Langoliers and how he's sort of split those responsibilities.
The catchers with a lot on their plate consistently, and of course that's just on the defensive side of things. Shea doing quite well offensively. 335 is the batting average. Needs All-American League hitters. 2-1 now.
Good fastball there from Detmers, and we'll dive into his arsenal as the game goes along, but it's going to be a bit of a different ball game from what they saw last night. Obviously left-hander, right-hander, lefty tonight, but Walbert Urena was outstanding last night. High-octane fastball, great changeup.
Here's the 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Goes to the four-seamer at 96. Detmers begins his evening with a strikeout of Shea Langoliers. Let's take a look at the umpiring crew here tonight. Louis Krupa slid behind home plate. He'll call balls and strikes. The crew chief, Chris Guccione at first. David Rackley at second. And Nestor Ceja just 3 outs away from being the umpire of a no-hitter last night. Nick Kurtz is up here with 1 out. Left on left.
And left-on-left matchups for Detmers. Heavy fastball slider combination to these southpaws. Against righties, you see a little more of the changeup come into play.
Swings at the pitch. High in the air. Out to shallow left field. Jose Siri will meet it 2 gone.
Well, the man behind the plate tonight, Louis Krupa, hails from Sault Ste. Marie, the oldest city in Michigan, located on the Upper Peninsula on the U.S. and Canadian border. And after 11 seasons in the bus leagues. Made his MLB debut last month, and tonight will be his second career big league game behind the plate.
All right, Louis. Swung on for Colby Thomas and foul back.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I remember my second big league outing.
How'd that go?
Not so much.
The first one was great.
Sure.
I'm sure you couldn't feel your knees.
Second one got me a bus ticket right back to Sacramento.
Well, he was just preparing you for your future. Now you're the tour guide of the town. Look at that number. 375 is the average for Colby Thomas against lefties. Place he was very successful last year when he made his major league debut. And he's off of it. And the first base umpire, Chris Cuccione, agrees. Thomas will take his time out. And the 1-2, swing and a miss for Thomas. 2 strikeouts for Reed Detmers to begin this evening. We'll go to Jacob Lopez next. Scoreless bottom of the first. Time for the Angels to come up to bat. And with the lefty on the bump, here's their lineup. Also righty heavy. Zach Neto was the hero last night. He leads it off, followed by Mike Trout, Vaughn Grisham. Jorge Soler's the DH. Jo Adell, Peraza, Shawnoel Ohapi, and Jose Siri.
Jacob Lopez on the mound, 9th start of the season, 10th appearance overall for Jacob Lopez. We talked about the team's success with Jacob Lopez on the mound on the road here over the last few outings for the left-hander.
And Lopez with his first pitch, just missing. 1-0 for Zach Neto. Wonder if he got any sleep last night.
Well, the last player to hit a walk-off homer in the 9th inning for a team being no-hit through 8 innings. You know, and I think one of the biggest compliments that can be paid to you as an opponent is hearing what the opposition has to say.
Swings at the pitch, popped up, shallow center. Going back to McNeil, and he'll give way to Bolte. 1 out will bring up Mike Trout, but let's flash back to last night. After the first hit of the game, it was the big hit. The blow against JT Ginn, a 2-run homer in Dallas. You talk about a couple-minute swing. That was a tough one.
It was. I mean, very difficult to digest, but I think, I'll be honest, even talking to JT today when I got to the yard, it's almost like he put me at ease. He almost had to comfort me, because you never know what sort of mind state a guy can be in after processing that. But I think if you watched his interview last night, and I talked about this in the open, on the changeup, excuse me, with Shooty and Towney, that just pure class from JT Ginn to stand in front of his locker, answer tough questions on what was ready to be a monumental night for the young man, and gave you the insight to how he was processing it, how he felt in the moment. I mean, it's a very raw moment. You know, it's almost like interviewing a UFC fighter after they suffer a knockout. You're not quite sure what to expect. You have no idea what the response could be. But JT Ginn last night, I think for better or worse, that's about as good as we've seen the baseball thrown by an A's pitcher this year. Not even close. Absolutely everything was dialed in. Fastball, slider, changeup served its purpose. I mean, there was not a pitch out of the hand for JT Ginn last night that wasn't competitive and that didn't give him something to build off of.
3-2 now for Mike Trout. And Jacob Lopez loses him. Trout will walk. And with 1 on, 1 out, Von Grisham will come up. Let's take a look at the defense here tonight for the Athletics behind the lefty Lopez. Jonah Heim's catching him. It's Nick Kurtz at first, Jeff McNeil at second, Daryl Hernandez at short, Zach Geloff at third. And in the outfield, they have Colby Thomas in left, Henry Volte in right, and Brent Rooker in the field for his 4th start out in right field. Here's a look at Jonah Heim. Called strike against Von Grisham. And to your point, for JT getting so many things to take away from the heartbreak of a loss, a guy that has his highest pitch count last night, has the guts to keep working. Manager giving him that opportunity to try and get through that game after the A's finally got a run in the top of the 9th.
Well, look, this is not a knock on anybody down there in the bullpen, but when the ball is coming out of the hand of your starting pitcher the way it was for JT Ginn from first pitch to the last pitch, there's just not a better option down there in the moment.
1-1 and a ground ball fouled on the 3rd baseline.
And that's not to say that there's not an option down there to get the job done. But at that time, what the baseball was telling you and what the other team was telling you was that it has been a very, very tough at bat from top to bottom. And just because you surrender that first hit doesn't mean there now needs to be a complete abandonment of what has unfolded over the course of 9 innings on the mound.
1-2 in the air to left. And after giving pause, Colby Thomas will jog in for the catch. 2 gone.
You know, I think when you think about that having to be the time, gave up the first hit, he can no longer get anybody else out from here on. Is that the message that you're sending? And I can understand, you know, you want to bring up the pitch count. The ball was still coming out of his hand as good as it was early in the game. Yeah, and the opponents having a tough time getting to it tells you what you needed to know.
Swung on for Jorge Soler, and this will be foul in the stands. Those moments, as quickly as they happen for us up here in the broadcast booth, down there on the field, for the manager in action, the same thing. You're elevating, or you're watching and evaluating, I should say, each and every at bat, each and every moment. And going into the 9th, you have all your plans. You have them all set and ready. Hits given up. You have Shea Langoliers go out. Calm JT Ginn get down. And Kate saying after the game last night that after Neto, the potential to match up with Hogan Harris and get him ready for Mike Trout. You can always look back.
Well, sure. I mean, that's the beauty about hindsight, right? Is it's 2020. It's darn near see-through. But
and that's going to get through for a base hit. Trucking around the bases is Mike Trout. He'll end up at third. First and third, 2 outs.
Lopez with a little cutter, just not quite far enough in on Soler, who is quick to that spot. Not only quick to that spot, but you're talking about a strong individual as well. So even if he doesn't catch it cleanly on the barrel, still plenty of strength to muscle that ball out to the outfield.
Lopez trying to get through early traffic here. Joe Adell up, and against left-handed pitching, a .298 average this season. He'll take a strike. Angels with as many base runners through 4 batters up as they saw through the first 8 frames last night against Ginn.
But the last thing I'll say about how last night unfolded was the conversations I had today with a lot of the guys in the lineup for the Halos. They told me everything I needed to know about what they were sensing and what they were feeling. JT Ginn was still the last guy that any of those dudes wanted to face.
Adell swings, pops it up in the infield. Kurtz all over it into foul territory and back towards play That'll be the final out of the first. 2 left on, and we'll move to the second here in Anaheim.
Welcome back. Time now for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. We're going to pop the top on Reed Detmers. Get a look at the toolbox for the left-hander. 4-seam fastball, slider leading the way. You got a changeup, a curveball, and a sinker to go along with it.
Brent Rooker up first, and a strike called on that curveball.
And you'll see Reed Detmers, he's not going to wait around to throw a couple different wrinkles at a couple different sections in this lineup. And what I mean is here working his way through 4, 5, 6. They might start to see just a different sequence of pitches than the first 3 hitters did. And that's just to kind of remain a little unpredictable, especially the first time through the order.
0-2 and a swing and a miss. 4-seamer gets Rooker, and through 4 batters, that's 3 strikeouts for Reed Detmers.
Reed Detmers just going to ride this 4-seamer up and out of the strike zone. Pretty good pitch in terms of east to west location on the corner. Just slightly elevated though. And after a big curveball to start and then a changeup to slow him down even more, just steps on the gas pedal.
Here's Henry Bolte. Bolte had a lot of action in yesterday's game out in center field, including that final play. Tried to chase down a potential home run robbery, but ran out of room at the center field wall. I think, too, as we tie a bow on the great evening from JT Ginn, the defense. Got to give moments and times like that in situations like he was in. The defense played absolutely stellar.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Kurtzy and I was talking to Darryl separately, and each guy complimented the other.
Check down, and first base umpire Chris Guccione says Bolte win around 1-2.
Take a peek from the side. Bolte just couldn't quite hold up. But Kurtzy said, yeah, tough ball for Darryl to hang in there on, coming off the bat with a lot of spin.
Swing and miss. Slider makes 4 Ks.
Tell you, Detmer's slicing and dicing right now. So he's 5 hitters, 4 of them have gone down with a punch out. Just a tidy little slide piece. Great pitch. I mean, that was going to be a strike whether he swung or not.
Pitch to Zach Geloff inside for a strike.
And so there's your example. First batter of the inning saw a curveball to start the at-bat. Then Bolte saw a slider. And now Geloff sees a fastball. Changeup smothered by O'Hoppe. But that's just, it serves a purpose where if the guy on deck is taking a look at how you have started the hitter ahead of him, he might think he could be getting the same thing.
2-1 now. But every pitch he's offered, someone's had a swing and a miss at one.
Oh, big curveball. This big curveball almost acts as a changeup as well, with that 13 to 15 mile an hour velocity separation between that and the fastball.
95 to 72 is what Geloff just saw. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. 4-seamer gets Geloff. Count him up. That's 5 strikeouts for Detmers.
Let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming up. That's June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and, well, play some ball. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you tonight.
Do you ever play that game?
What, eat whatever the baby has in their hand?
Even if it's the binky? She's trying to put mom to bed.
We get a nacho update
Oh my
on our
goodness.
boy from yesterday. Did he ever power through that helmet full of nachos?
I saw a shot of him in the 9th inning, and he looked as upset as his stomach probably was. Rightfully so.
Was he out there with the folks in left field with their tarps off?
No. He was just obviously crushed by the ending of that game after he crushed the helmet of nachos. 2-0 is the count for Oswald Peraza. Up Dallas, you better be ready today.
Oh.
You better be ready.
I'm all over it. It's a great place. Great place to get a foul ball. Also a great place to catch a black eye if you're not paying attention.
Uh-huh. Certainly. Could do that. 2-1's the count for Peraza. Foul back. Well, let's take a look at the High Rollers, brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. This is what we're talking about, Dallas. Be ready. Always be ready. Mike Trout just wanted to send you a little message. Say hello. I mean, come on. 2 foul balls. Unbelievable. Strikeout. Jacob Lopez getting involved in the swing and miss now.
You know what they say, partner. Good things happen to good people. Jacob Lopez mowing down Peraza on a heater, 92, little arm side life to it. And we've seen Jacob Lopez do such a great job of that, and that's expand the zone, forcing the hitters to stretch their zone away, specifically the right-handers on that fastball. And it's because Jacob Lopez it's just such a funky at bat at times. You know, it's not like he's extreme first base side on the rubber, but he is cross body in terms of how he lands. And it just creates that bit of an angle where it feels like it's kind of coming out of right center field. Now, if he were even more on the first base side of the rubber, instead of basically splitting the difference, it'd feel like for Shawnuel that he's coming at him from behind him.
1-2. You got the plus extension going on for him as well.
Well, and that's a key component when we start to talk about deception and perceived velocity. Baseball just looks a little different coming out of his hand.
Out to right field. That's going to land for a base hit as Shawnuel's trucking. Well, no, he's going to hold up there at first. Second hit of the game for the Angels. 1 on, 1 out.
Well, you see where Heim set up. Shawnuel, you see where that back foot is. Shawnuel well on top of the plate. So that slider that was away, Shawnuel still able to get to.
It brings up Logan O'Hoppe. Batting average under 200 for the Angels catcher.
You know, just watching the setup there for Shawnuel against Lopez, the left-hander, reminds me of facing a Halo great who, unfortunately, the Halo family just lost, and that's the great Garrett Anderson. You know, a guy, Jenny, I can remember facing GA and trying to beat him with a fastball in, but somehow, some way, he's able to whip the barrel through and just not quite able to tie him up the way you'd like. And then you think to yourself, all right, if he's able to get to that in, I've sped him up in off the plate. Now it might be the opportunity I can spin something away from him. But what Garrett Anderson did such a great job of is he was up in the box. And being up in the box, you hear hitters talk about taking away the break. And that breaking ball just doesn't have quite enough time to finish. And he's able to catch you out front and clip you. And next thing you know, he's either standing on second or shaking the third base coach's hand, which is never good. Just one of the tough left-handers that I had the privilege and honor to compete against.
Three 1. O'Hoppe with a foul ball towards his dugout, and that'll hit Keith Johnson. Gotta have eyes in your back of your head if you're a third base coach, right?
Just stay in your box these days. You'll be all right.
Oh, man.
Stay in your cage.
I'm sure you've heard nothing about the box out there this year. Full count here for O'Hoppe. Taken off is Shonowell in the air out towards right field, drifting foul. And we'll get a couple rows back.
You see the bat there for O'Hoppe, where his top hand's going to rest? There's a big extended, like a pad / wrap job.
Yeah.
Take a little shock out of that top hand.
I don't see that too often. 3-2 ground ball, and that's going to get through on the right side. McNeil is shaded towards second base. To third will go Shonowell. Now the same situation that Lopez found himself in the first, but this time just one out, first and third. 62.7 miles an hour off the bat.
Well, look again, just a pitch away that O'Hoppe well out in front of. But because Jeff McNeil is positioned where he was, ball just going to trickle through the right side. Halos now first and third, one out with the hustle of Shonowell, a hallmark of this Angels organization for a long time. Speaking of Garrett Anderson, you had guys like Sean Figgins and Meiser Turris and David Eckstein.
Yeah, Eck.
Just pressure on the bases right out of the gate.
0-1 count to Jose Siri. Popped up. Kurtz heading towards the A's dugout. And I'll have to watch it get out of play. We contact here. You hope for the same. One out, trying to induce that ground ball double play. Get out of the jam. Lopez ahead 0-2. And the pitch, a swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning, this time off the slider.
Jacob Lopez. When you see the left-hander going good, he's able to spin that slider to both sides of the plate, whether it's backdoor or wrapped around the back foot of the right-handers. Working the cutter to both sides of the plate as well.
Back to the top of the order, swing and a miss. 0-1 for Zach Neto. It was his 8th home run of the season last night that gave the Angels a 2-1 walk-off win. So 4,227 consecutive games for the Halos without being no-hit. Longest active in Major League Baseball. Really, Neto's been swinging well over the last 5 games. Coming into tonight, 5 for 16 over those with a couple of homers. Also seeing the ball well, 3 walks. This one to center field. In comes Bolte. He's charging towards right field, and he will make the catch. A little more traffic, no problem for Lopez.
Don't miss your chance to grab some of the best giveaways of the season, from Shea Langoliers and Marvel to our post-game fireworks shows and one-of-a-kind wearables. There is something for every fan. 2026 is filled with can't-miss items. Secure yours now at athletics.com/promotions.
Oh yeah, some good ones for the collection to add here in 2026. Got to get out to the ballpark and join us. These guys join the A's out here on the road. Jonah Heim up against Reed Detmers, who has been on a roll here through the first 2 innings. 6 batters faced, 5 strikeouts. One now to Heim.
Well, Jenny, speaking of Marvel, how about this? You see this?
Wow.
Spidey. Just an incredible piece of artwork that, believe it or not,
to right field and a dive off his feet from Joe Adell. He takes a hit away from Jonah Heim.
Great play by Adell. Adell was rolling in the deep out in right field and was able to close the gap. Make a nice headlong effort. Taking away a knock.
And back to your Spider-Man. He's made a few of those kind of catches this year too. Joe Adell's been playing some great defense out in right field. Jeff McNeil up now.
But I was having a conversation with the brother of third base coach Bobby Crosby. That fella right there, I told him to his face, you might be the lowest tiered Crosby going.
McNeil over the head and into right field. It will be a base hit. And that's the first of the game.
Well, good to see the A's on the board here quickly. Sooner rather than later. McNeil just dropping the head on a slider here from Detmers. Tell you, with each passing day, I hope folks at home are gaining the appreciation for the professional hitter that is Jeff McNeil.
Hernandez swings at the first pitch, fouls it.
But just to put a bow on the story, Brian Crosby, brother of Bobby Crosby, knew that my daughters love them some Spider-Man. He said, hey, they like Marvel? They like Spider-Man? Go get me a baseball.
No, he just did that. And that's going to be a base hit for Hernandez. Station to station here, a little traffic building for the Athletics.
Yeah, it took them all of about 3 minutes, believe it or not. I threw him the ball, walked up to the cage, turned around about 5 minutes later, the ball was done. Just like this fastball, inside outed by Hernandez. Look, a pitch away, it's really almost helping the hitter stay inside the ball. Just a matter of working the barrel to it, and Darryl the Barrel does just that. He's trying to create a little offense, something that was tough to do last night against Ureña.
Yeah, the rookie pitcher for the Angels did a nice job on the mound in his own right. 30 pitches here for Detmers. 1 out in the third, 2 on. And the pitch to Langeliers. Low. Shea struck out off a fastball to open up the game against Detmers. A lot of swing and miss going on. 5 strikeouts for the Angels starter here tonight. Shea hit second last night, had an infield hit in the game. This time in the air, lifted out to center field. Mike Trout will make the catch, 2 outs. We'll bring him Nick Kurtz. He looked through so many moments in a game last night Like a no-hitter, as you see the batting average with runners in scoring position. Kurtz in the top 5 in Major League Baseball, 429. That's the situation he found himself in last night. This time a ground ball that will get through. Here comes McNeil charging home, and it'll be the first run of the game. Athletics, 1-0. How about Nick Kurtz now reaching base as well? 42 consecutive games.
Well, the big fella able to square up a slider. Jeff McNeil hustling around third base, able to put the A's on board for the first time tonight. Green and gold drawing first blood, and you said it, 42nd straight ball game now, Jenny, for the big bopper having reached base safely.
First pitch high to Colby Thomas. Well, now Nick Kurtz sits with the same name as Jimmy Fox, 42 consecutive games reaching base. You look at A's history, and the longest streak belonging to Mark McGwire back in the mid-90s, 62. That's a lot of history there on that board.
That sure is.
It seems that Nick Kurtz always finds himself in the middle, some sort of historical context.
Well, he's walked his way into history. He has swung his way into history. He's done it all. Right now, Hoppe and Detmer is trying to figure out how to get out of this little spot here. 2 on, 2 out, sitting with a 2-0 count. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Right now, Detmer's paying the price for a couple hanging sliders.
See if Colby Thomas can keep it cooking with 2 outs here in the third. And he's at second, Kurtz at first. And we're seeing the praises of Jeff McNeil, the contact hitter that he is. Starting all this here in the third. The 3-1. Right back here, and it's gonna hit above us. Dallas, so close.
I'm gonna get me another one. I'm gonna get me another one.
Hey, JR, you better stay awake over there tonight. No sleeping on the job. Here's the 3-2. Runners on the move. Colby Thomas out towards right center, and it'll get down. Here they come. Hernandez is plated. Kurtz right behind him. The throw home, and Kurtz is safe. 3-0 off the bat of Colby Thomas.
Well, how about the green and gold going to work here in the third inning? Crank gets a fastball, 95 top shelf, and he picks it off. Mike Trout opens up the engine. He just can't quite get to it. Darrell scores easily, and then third base coach Bobby Crosby, you saw that windmill going. Bringing home the big fella. A's able to open up a bit here in the third.
Second double of the season for Colby Thomas, and this meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. As Mike Maddox, the pitching coach for the Angels, trying to slow some things down. Detmers was off and running through those first 2 innings. Here in the third, the Athletics' patience has built them a 3-run lead.
Well, they've done a good job at covering north and south in the strike zone. Right, a couple sliders down. You saw McNeil scoop one up. You saw Nick Kurtz barrel one up, send it right back up the middle, and then Colby Thomas goes and gets on top of a fastball at the tip top of the strike zone.
1-0 for Brent Rooker. Into left, and that'll get down. A base hit for Rooker. Here comes the speedy Colby Thomas. The throw home. And how about a 4-0 lead in the third?
Well, and how quickly things can change. Folks at home watched that happen last night. You're watching what I call a big league inning unfold right now. Just a handful of pitches or so, you see the entire complexion of a ball game change. And Detmers, who had punched out the first 5 out of 6 hitters he'd faced, now having trouble getting just one more out to get out of this third inning.
Here's Henry Bolte up for the second time. We give him 1-0. And Bolte out to left. This one's going, and this one will bounce over. Bolte with a ground rule double. Rooker's going to stop at third. All this happening, Dallas, with 2 outs.
Well, that's 4 straight knocks. Now with 2 outs for the A's. Bolte going to land that on the track. Auto double for the center fielder. First big league double. First big league. I mean, look, he's checking boxes. First big league stolen base the other day. Great defensive plays.
Off the 9th batter that Reed Detmers has had to face here. Couple of men in scoring position. Geloff to center field. Charging in is Trout. He won't get there. Rooker home. Here comes the speedy Bolte. And how about the inning the A's are having?
My goodness.
Chalk it up, 6-0.
And that snowball just got bigger and bigger for Detmers. And this is where you feel like you can't hide. I mean, that's a changeup well off the plate. But Geloff does a nice job of going out and getting it and just dumping it in front of Mike Trout.
We'll have to face Jonah Heim for the second time this inning. Heim swings, a ground ball weakly hit to third. And Grisham on to first for the final out of the third. 10 came up, 6 scored. Athletics in control. Time now for the Old Spice Fresh Stats. Well, for JT Ginn, last night that walk-off homer was the first Athletic starting pitcher to allow a walk-off homer since Brian Kingman back in 1981. It has been a minute. You can talk about the era of baseball we're in. Starting pitchers complete games. It's also been a minute for an A's starter to log a complete game. Fortunately for JT Ginn on the losing side of things, they're spinning such a gym last night.
Well, I've made the comment before that learning how to finish ball games. How about that man? A's royalty. Blue Moon Odom in the house. Moon makes his home. Moon makes his home down here in Southern California. Good to have the legend. So cool, Jenny, when I was a player, Moon, when he would make his way down here, he would stop by the clubhouse and say hello.
Trout out to deep center field. Going back is Henry Bolte, and this one's gone. A Mike Trout home run gets the Angels on the board in the third. It's 6-1.
Well, Mike Trout now moves into a three-way tie for first. For the most home runs against the Athletics, was sitting at 42 and is now tied with Rafael Palmeiro and Alex Rodriguez for 43. 90-mile-an-hour cutter, I think, just stayed middle, and Trout. I mean, you hit a ball out of the ballpark in that direction on a pitch in that location. Mike Trout, in case you have forgotten, folks, still very, very good at baseball.
High ball in the air to left. It'll be Colby Thomas that makes the first out. You mentioned it. 43 homers now against the Athletics. Tied for the most since 1968. Played in the division a long time. Played a lot of games against the A's. That was home run number 416 of Trout's career, 12th on the season. And with that, he scores his 600th run here at the Big A, the most by any player. So a little piece of history to go with it.
I mean, what an incredible performer Mike Trout has been.
Lopez has Soler 0-2, and the pitch is high.
You know, and I think a lot of people will be quick to try to knock Mike Trout for wanting to win in Anaheim.
A check swing, a bunt back towards the pitcher, and Lopez will smother it as he dives off the mound. 2 gone.
And like a true sportsman, replacing his divot.
Well, he does that. We'll now get a quick word from Red Hawk Resort and Casino.
It's game on at Red Hawk Resort Casino. So many ways to play, you'll stay all day. All your favorite table games and hundreds of the latest slots. Book a room and stay to play another day. Red Hawk Resort Casino, proud partner of Athletics Baseball.
Chris Guccione, first base umpire, comes over to help him out a bit. Have the right tools, you know, when you're pitching, you don't quite have that bag like you do on the golf course.
Well, you know, that all depends on who you ask and maybe what era
Certainly.
you're pitching in.
All right, in 2026, you don't. That's the 11th home run issued by Jacob Lopez this season. Long ball. It's kind of bit him here in the month of May. 9 of those 11 coming this month. Fouled back by Joe Adell. No chance for you, Dallas, there. That was a deck above us. So pump the brakes.
I'm telling you, if I was Mark Gubza, the great analyst for the Halos, I'd have a trophy case at home just for foul balls. and yes, Jenny, I do have my own.
How many's in that? Just 2?
For now.
I can't believe that you've only got 2, and they all came, what, within a couple months?
I mean, very quickly. There's Gooby.
Gooby, 20th season. He's documented some great players over the last 2 decades.
Well, and just, I mean, just a personal note, some insight. Gooby and I live very close to each other.
Yeah.
He's a little further up the road than I am, but checked in multiple times and let me know, more than willing to help out, do anything he could as we battle the fires here in Southern California. So what Angels fans are treated to on a night in, night out basis with outstanding analysis and just a wonderful personality, I promise you he's even a better human off the camera and on the field. Just a A+ human being.
No question. Foul ball back this direction again, but just a few booths over. Hey, you're talking trash to the riders? Come on.
Come on, Martine.
Martin Gallegos from MLB.com does such a great job. That was not in his reach. Don't blame Martin. 3-2 ground ball. Backhanded by Hernandez at short. And out of the inning, it was a Mike Trout solo home run, and the Angels trail by 5. Mike Trout hit a solo home run in the 30th. The Angels on the board, but the Athletics a 6th spot in the 3rd. We now move to the 4th, and you see that S, how it trails on the City Connects. Well, that S ends in the fishtail shape of a surfboard to honor Mike Trout and Tim Salmon. That's pretty cool. On a night you're wearing those to hit a homer into left and off his feet is going to be Jose Siri. That will take away another hit from Jeff McNeil.
Great play by Siri. Little liner there off the bat of Jeff McNeil. And what you love about this, what I can appreciate about this, is the angle that Jose Siri creates for himself here. So he can go into a dive and do what he just did after the fact, and that's a tumble, a roll of sorts, to help try to avoid any injury. And there's probably some apprehension, understandably so, with diving head first, and you got to make a tough decision whether you're going to go forehand, glove up, or underhand.
We're in the hot zone up here tonight. There's no question about it, so get your glove ready. Are you judging Martin again, Dallas?
Very, very much so. But you bring up the City Connection. There he is. I was just going to say, I was chit-chatting with a couple of legends. Eddie Gradado, straight out of the 209, and that man right there, Halo legend Tim Salmon, who's in the house. Mr. Salmon's on pre and post game for the Halos.
Talked to Trout earlier. You're like a real angler around here. Just fishing for the stories, you know?
That's it. Able to land a couple of them.
How cool. And a ground ball foul for Hernandez. When you think about that, you think about the impact of Mike Trout, and to be mentioned with a guy like Tim Salmon, they create a jersey while you're still playing in honor of you. And there's a reason why.
I mean, look at that. Two fellows we've shown you on TV right now. Sit 1 and 2.
Jo Adell jog in and make the catch. 2 gone.
On that all-time Halo homer list.
Already talked about the great late Garrett Anderson. Sits 3rd there. Albert Pujols had 222 of his homers in an Angels uniform. You still fishing?
Still fishing.
Some more trout heads that you could look after. Got beach balls out. Very active tonight here at the Big A. 3rd time up for Shea Langoliers. Has a 17 game on base streak. Extended that yesterday and just foul.
I mean, it's par for the course out here. The volleying of the beach ball.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I got some sand on my toes today. Hit up the beach. No, I don't need the comment. Laid it up for you. 0-2, swing and a miss. No time for your comments. We got to go. The bottom of the 4th here in Anaheim. 6-1 A's.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Law Tigers, Northern California's motorcycle lawyers at lawtigers.com.
Just head north on the 1. You'll make it to Dallas's house.
Uh-oh.
Well, the bug sprayer's back out. So we got the Nats in front of home plate again. Was an issue last night. As you see, Jacob Lopez kind of waiting here. We got a mask on this time, though.
Well, he's the only one. Never mind the athletes or the umpires that are taking heavy breaths around home plate.
Jonah Heim at least stepped back a bit. Last night, Logan O'Hoppe just bathed in the remnants. I think we're ready to play. Don't worry, the haze on the field is from the quick firework display, not from the bug spray. Oswald Peraza had a strikeout tonight. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up on the right side and foul. And for Jacob Lopez, inching towards the 60 pitch mark, has 58 right now. Going to bounce back after giving up the run. Off a solo home run from Mike Trout into center field. Bolte's not going to get there. It'll be a base hit to lead off the fourth for Peraza. Well, this summer, FIFA World Cup 2026 lights up the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Experience every goal and every celebration exclusively in Spanish on Telemundo and Peacock. It's coming to L.A. Lots of buzz around Southern California. You're going to play host, I think. Maybe be a shuttle driver, make some extra cash.
I think it's something I have to entertain.
Shonowell to second. It'll be a low catch for McNeil. One gone.
Again, just a heads up. Baseball IQ on display for Jeff McNeil. And he just said, I think I had him at first, which means he was debating on whether or not he was going to catch the ball like he did, or what you do in that instance is you go down and you keep your glove in the place it was, and then you just kind of move your glove back a little further and you catch the short hop, and then you wing it on over to first base, get the force out, and depending on what Peraza was going to do, Nick Kurtz might be able to either just apply a tag or then you end up in a rundown. But right here, this is what we're talking about. You see now if McNeil ends up just moving that glove back a bit, he catches the short hop, and then he's able to get Shonowell.
Similar situation here at second base in the air. Catch from McNeil, this time a little higher.
Well, and look, Jeff McNeil again, taking stock of where O'Hoppe was down the line. And see, this is why I absolutely love Jeff McNeil, is because there is not a single pitch that goes by where Jeff McNeil is not thinking about what he could possibly be doing with the baseball. I mean, he is checking so many boxes mentally when it comes to his responsibility, where to go with the ball, plays that could be unfolding, how he could take advantage of any sort of lackluster effort. I mean, it is so much fun to be around players like that, because you know these guys just wake up, eat, sleep, and breathe, and go to bed with the thought of competing on the baseball field in their brain.
Well, he's a dirtbag, right?
He sure is, in every great sense of the word.
It's Long Beach State, so a dirtbag in that sense, but really just a dirtbag in the sense of what you're mentioning, baseball rat. So I kind of chuckled earlier because you can always catch him. I know he's talking over to Kurtz, but he's talking through plays too sometimes, whether he's actually talking at somebody or to himself. Well, that he'll do it at the plate, he'll do it in the field.
Well, and we've talked about how much of an impact he has had on the growth of Jacob Wilson, serving the same purpose now for Darell Hernaiz.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
You know, it's a great opportunity not only for Darell to get as many reps as he's getting at shortstop, but alongside a guy like Jeff McNeil. You see him talking to him. I mean, that right there.
Lopez trying to put away Jose Siri. 1-2. Pitch. And it'll be a base hit down in left center field. Heading to third, Peraza. And into second, the throw's coming in. The tag applied. And safe at second for Jose Siri.
Well, Siri on his horse. This ball stung. Another slider down and out. But Siri able to go down and out and get the barrel on it. Bolte with the backhand. One-hop throw back into McNeil at second, but Siri coming in hard, headlong, able to beat the throw. And you can see out of the box. Siri's got double on the brain. Good hard slide into second.
First double of the season. Not too many at-bats for Jose Siri, just recalled from AAA earlier this week. So now 2 for 5 at the plate. That sprint speed, Dallas, 30.5 feet per second.
Oh, he's booking.
Here's Zach Neto. There's been traffic all game for Jacob Lopez to have to deal with. Outside the solo home run in the third, he's been able to manage the base path.
Look out.
Yeah, inside to Neto. Turn the shoulder.
Well, even though that pitch is nowhere near the strike zone, still a pitch that can serve a purpose, something that Jacob Lopez can work off of.
So far tonight, Angels 0 for 3 with the runner in scoring position. 4 men left on base, trying to leave 2 more. 2-1's the count. 4 times up to bat tonight. Zach Neto has sent a ball in the air to center field. Both have been outs. Pitch 70 on the way, and that's high. 2-2. Excuse me, 3-1. And the pitch off the plate. It'll be a walk for Neto to load the bases ahead of the dangerous Mike Trout. That'll bring Scott Emerson out of the dugout. Jonah Heim will head to the mound, and this meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price.
Well, you just want to make sure that you're not going to give the Halos an opportunity to get back into the ball game. You know how the last at bat between these two went. Big Fish took a bite out of a heater middle. I just don't know that you want to give Mike Trout another opportunity to do that same kind of damage. He's been pretty good over the course of his career with ducks on the pond. Almost a 400 hitter, 6 grand slams.
Say he's cashed in. No question, 1 for 4 this year in these situations, and he takes a strike off the cutter. Trout reached via a walk, has the solo home run. That run, by the way, was the 34th run that Mike Trout has scored this season to lead the Halos. They've had a hard time getting runs across this year. Scored 2 to win last night. They've scored 2 or less runs in the last 7 straight games.
And Jonah Heim trying to blur that outside line if he can.
Gonna miss off the cutter, 2-2.
Well, after the swing and miss, Mike Trout going to take his time out here, collect himself. We got 2s, partner. 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You got the bags juice. Justin Sterner starting to loosen up now for the green and gold.
And the pitch will make it a full count. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and the 3-2 coming. Crowd into it here at the Big A. See what the hometown kid from Granada Hills can do to try to escape it. Runners on the move, and the pitch just misses, but Jonah Heim thinks he has a challenge.
The catcher's challenging.
This ABS challenge brought to you by T-Mobile, and you kind of see Jonah Heim.
I'm not sure if Jonah's necessarily sold on it, and I think that's probably
The Athletics
why.
have 1 challenge remaining.
Mike Trout walks in the second run for the Angels. Bases remain loaded now for Vaughn Grisham. And the pitch to Grisham outside. Grisham with 2 flyouts tonight, both to left field. And the start against the lefty Lopez. Here's the 1-0. Called strike.
Well, they've been chasing that outside corner. They being Heim and Lopez. Able to get the call there. Been a coin flip here this inning. Now 12 strikes to 11 balls. 23 pitches. That pitch counted 80. And if you're going to get through 5 innings, you got to take care of business here.
Pitch count over 80 now, 81 pitches here for Lopez. The average is just 5 innings per start, but you're right, Dallas trying to get through the 4th right now. And fortunately, it's just a foul ball.
Yeah, good pitch. I'm just not quite able to hold on to this slider that gets fouled off. Right off the thumb. Very, very tough pitch to collect.
One and 2. Pitch swung on and gets past a diving Geloff into left. 2 runs coming home. And the Angels getting their offense working here in the bottom of the 4th. They trail by 2.
Well, and that's why I said you're going to have to take care of business here, because unfortunately, skipper Mark Kotze on his way out of the dugout after this ball gets wrapped down the left field line. Geloff not able to snag it out of thin air. And that'll be it for the left-hander, Jacob Lopez.
He'll leave with 2 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
A 6-4 ball game here in the bottom of the 4th in Anaheim. 2 on for the Angels, 2 outs, and Jacob Lopez out of the game. Just 3 2/3 in his start here. Responsible for both those runners on, and with Jorge Soler coming up, Justin Sterner and the rest of the bullpen will have the rest of the game.
There's some work to do tonight for this Athletics bullpen, and it's going to start with Justin Sterner making his 23rd appearance out of the bullpen for the Athletics this season. And for Justin Sterner, I think here recently, Jenny, his last couple ball games and innings worth of work, but before that, I think his last 3-4 appearances came in spots just like this, looking for an out or 2. And not a bad job getting the job done in those spots. Night for Lopez, 3 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, came on 3 walks, 2 strikeouts to go along with it, and is responsible for the 2 runners on base right now. Mike Trout over at third.
So they're held back, 1-1.
Ooh, pretty close. You can slow it down to the peak of that swing.
Trout the third, that's Grissom at first.
And Mike Trout ends up on third base on a ball to left field now. Colby Thomas had to move a ways to get over to that ball that Grissom hit. But Mike Trout still able to move with ease around the base path.
Sterner checks over at first. Pitch lifted in the air. Out to center, Bolte will make the final catch. 2 stranded as Justin Sterner comes in to stop the bleeding. It's 6-4 after 4. This telecast is brought to you by Chili's Big Crispy 3 for Me, the best $10.99 you can eat. Beautiful sunset here in Southern California. Nick Kurtz takes a strike to begin the top of the 5th as Reid Detmers continues his work as the starting pitcher for the Angels. Shortened start for Jacob Lopez. Popped up on the infield. Hoppy looking for it. Detmers as well, and it'll be the corner infielder coming in, and Grissom to make the grab. One gone. Colby Thomas coming up. The Athletics built a 6-0 lead in the 3rd. Driving in all the runs with 2 outs. Colby Thomas in the middle of that had a 2 RBI double. Fortunately for Jacob Lopez, that traffic that had kind of been building all game, finally Angels got something working and played it.
Well, now Reid Detmers has an opportunity to do what we kind of highlighted with Jacob Lopez at the opening of the ball game, which was give his team a chance to hang in there and claw back, which the Angels have. They hope that they're competitive at the end of the ball game.
Center field, deep on the move. Mike Trout at the track and the catch. 2 gone here in the top of the 5th. So Jack Perkins now starting to warm up in the Athletics pen. A well-rested pen, no one used yesterday in the game. For JT Ginn to a complete game, unfortunately ended up on the losing side of things. Brent Rooker 1 for 2. Also collected an RBI against the Angels.
Yeah, tough way for the club to log their first complete game of the season. But to the point I was making about learning how to finish ball games, even when you take a lump like that, there's a lot to take away from it. Outside of the unfortunate loss, I think there's still confidence to walk away with. Knowing that your stuff was complemented by just about everybody in the opposing lineup. And when you got guys who've been around the league as long as some of the guys in the lineup for the Angels have, and they tell you that that's some of the best stuff that they've seen, some of the heaviest sinkers that they've had to deal with, that'll put a feather in your cap.
No question. So many small wins. It should add up eventually over the time and course of career of JT Ginn's tenure of big wins. We've seen growth, maturity over a very short amount of time. I think it was very evident in the 9 innings he was out there yesterday. Obviously didn't complete an out in the 9th. 3-2 here for Rooker. Hard to get that no-hitter. Reed Detmers would know. It only took him, what, 11 games? He pitched the 12th no-hitter in Angels history. That was back in 2022. And Brent Rooker will take a walk. Oh, bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity, imagine that. And for Detmers, you kind of look at the course of his career, asked to do a lot of things as an Angel. Been here for 6 years. Was a first-round draft pick. And the no-hitter early in his career, very young, just 22 years old. Then last year, goes to the bullpen. Didn't have a great campaign in 24, made the adjustment as a reliever last year, and now learned a lot down there that he's tried to take back into the starting role this season. 1-1 on Bolte.
And that's just the life of a pitcher and a young pitcher who might have some success early, but then stumble out of the gate.
It's the young career of Henry Bolte that we're watching unfold on the athletic side of things. Collected his first career double in the game. Hopped over the fence there in left field. Had Rooker in the same position he's in now at first base. First couple hits for the A's in yesterday's contest, infield hits, and Henry Bolte had one of those. We've seen his speed come into play already. Taking off Rooker and a swing and a miss. Strikeout ends the top of the fifth.
Folks, you can make a splash at the ballpark. Join us on Tuesday, May 26th. It's swim night. Enjoy our matchup versus the Mariners. It's a perfect night for swim teams, families, and fans ready to dive into summer all together. You can grab a special themed ticket to receive an exclusive swim night cap and rock the green and gold with pride all summer long. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/theme games. And
Raleigh's here.
love that. Love the stash.
Sweet stash, sweet glove.
That is quality facial fescue.
See, I got you off that read real quick. Good stash, good glove, good green and gold. Great fans.
Great fans.
Great fans.
Are you not going to be in the house for swim night?
Great fans, Dallas. Look who's in the house now. It's Jack Perkins. Quickly 0-2 against Joe Adell.
Jack Perkins making his 13th appearance for the Athletics. A little bumpy last time out for Perk, but nonetheless, I think still a young man who possesses great talent and will be a big impact arm for this club.
Lifted in the air out to right field. Brent Rooker will make the catch, one gone. Routine fly to start. Perkins will now have Peraza.
You know, I think we all understand that success is not a linear destination. For every couple steps forward you could take, there might be one step you got to take backwards. This game is very, very humbling. And at times it feels like just when you're starting to hit your stride, just when you're starting to really get things going, it feels like you're figuring out one phase of your growth. You could hit a roadblock.
That hit Peraza.
Yep.
Take his base.
Flipped him.
He's checking just in case.
slow it down for you a little bit. Right off that elbow pad.
And that'll bring up the left-handed hitter in Nolan Shonwell. 1 for 2 tonight with a single.
For Perk, there was a stretch there. 6 ball games where he was just dominant. Over 9 innings, 10 punch outs, hadn't allowed an earned run. Was carving his way through the opposition. And as quickly as that started to unfold, I mentioned a little bit of a hiccup. And for Perk, unfortunately, over his last 4 appearances, just not quite been as smooth. ERA over 12. And sometimes it's just a matter of a string of at-bats that goes south and you can't quite reel it in. I mean, we saw it with Detmers earlier in the game, how the 3rd inning got away and score kind of blows up on you.
Taken off, the runner chopped over the head of the pitcher. Hernandez can't tag him at second, so he'll throw to first for the out. Peraza in scoring position, 2 gone.
Peraza knows there's no chance to be tagged. Just ease into second base. Darryl making a quick decision, get rid of the ball, get your out.
Pitch to O'Hoppe low. Continues to play through his wrist irritation. Over the weekend against the Dodgers. Ground ball and Darryl Hernandez all over it. That'll be the final out and 1 stranded. We'll go to the 6th inning. A's up by 2.
Welcome back. Time now for your play of the game presented by your California Ford dealers. And how about that 3rd inning? 6 runs with 2 outs. Just a great job by this A's offense to take advantage of the mistakes that Detmers left over the plate. There were some good pitches that Detmers made that the A's did just a bit better job of getting to. And that's kind of how things go sometimes. You feel like you make a good pitch. Unfortunately, the ball lands on some grass and not in a fielder's glove. And the A's able to capitalize and put together that big 3rd inning. Now what you'd like to see happen is them get back to creating a little more separation. And I know it might seem greedy. You feel like you should have a pretty good chance to win a ball game anytime your offense goes out and posts 6 runs, let alone a 6-run inning.
No question. You kind of spread that offense as much as you can throughout a game. Trying to find a couple more innings to score in as well. Those 6 runs, though, kind of the tale of 2 different halves, or a couple different innings, at least for Reid Detmers. Retired the first 7, had 5 strikeouts in the process, and then 7 in the next 8. Hits in the runs there in the 3rd.
Well, this is where you have to give credit to the left-hander. You know, Jacob Lopez out of the game after 3 2/3. His team had the lead, but what Reid Detmers has done is help preserve some of that bullpen. Now working into the 6th inning, and should things go the way they've gone the last couple innings, I feel like he'd be able to get through 6 innings, might even venture out there for the top of the 7th, and that might be getting a little greedy. But again, if you're trailing but still throwing the ball well, Kurt Suzuki understands what that can do for your club.
Popped up. On the right side in foul territory, and that's where Nolan Shonowell finds himself a catch. 1 out. Jonah Heim coming up. Don't forget to watch exclusive athletics interviews, extended press conference videos, and tons of YouTube shorts, all on the NBCS Authentic YouTube channel. Subscribe now. The switch hitter Jonah Heim doing the catching today. Shea Langoliers just part duties as a designated hitter.
Well, I think that was part of the reason why you made the move. You got Jonah Heim. We talked about how impactful that Jonah Heim can be. You know, unfortunately, you say goodbye to Austin Wynns, who as prepared as anybody for the ball game on any given day regarding the studying habits, understanding who the opponent was and how he was going to help steer the pitching staff. And as much responsibility as I give to the catchers when it comes to handling the staff, you still, at the end of the day, have to bring something to the table offensively.
And as a switch hitter, Jonah Heim can provide a lot in that area. How about a fair ball? Into the right field corner, Jonah Heim heading to second, and an extra base hit for the switch hitting catcher.
Well, hit it where it's pitched. You can see Heim see this curveball kind of pop up out of the hand of Detmers. He gets the foot down, and you see that slight little pause from Heim right there. And that tells you that Jonah Heim saw the curveball out of the hand, was able to get the foot down and keep the hands back and just hit the ball where it was pitched. Take a look from the side. You'll see him, watch this, foot down, and then that slight little pause. Just, I mean, we're talking a half second worth of hold up there, just midair suspension almost. And that'll bring out Mike Maddox. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Just going to try to slow things down here for Detmers after the 1-out double. That'll probably get some activity going in that Halo bullpen.
Looks like Jose Fermin warming up for them. Jeff McNeil up with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Prime spot for the A's to grab a little insurance. Just the second hit for Jonah Heim in the green and gold. Of course, started the year with Atlanta. The Athletics able to capitalize, make that trade. Look at the spot Atlanta's in now. Sean Murphy on the IL. They just put Drake Baldwin on the IL.
Well, that's probably the last thing that the Atlanta fan base wants to see. The Atlanta Braves as a whole, the way they've played baseball so far, the first third of this season, able to bounce back from some of the injuries they incurred last season that had them looking really just like a shade of who they are,
right,
who they believe they are. And I think, to quote Dennis Green, they are who they thought they were at the beginning of the season, at least when they were healthy.
Oh, Dallas. Check down, held back. 2-2. Six to 4. The A's scored all 6 in the third. And a foul tip. Strikeout for McNeil. 2 gone.
And I think the meeting for Maddox probably just trying to reemphasize getting back to using that fastball. That curveball feels like it's starting to pop a little out of the hand as you start to get into the 85 to 90 pitch mark. I think maybe a little fatigue setting in, and if that's the case, one of the first things to go is the finish on the breaking ball. So you get back to stepping on that gas pedal 94, 95, still a competitive heater from the left-hander.
2-0 for Daryl Hernandez with 2 outs. He's been good with the runner in scoring position tonight, 4 for 6.
There's now 3-0. Langoliers on deck. Shea 0 for 3 tonight with a couple punch outs. Don't know if Detmers would see him for a 4th time.
3-1. 10 starts now. Reed Detmers has gotten into the 90s with his pitch count.
He's been up as high as 104, but that was early in the season.
And a miss to Hernandez. Put him on first with a walk, first and second. Back to the top of the order with Shea Langoliers, and indeed it will be the manager, Kurt Suzuki, coming out. We will make call to the bullpen here.
Well, Kurt Suzuki gave the left-hander every bit of a chance to try to get through 6 innings. Unfortunately, command just escaped Reed Detmers. Detmers in the halo is going to turn it over to the bullpen to try to get out of this 6th inning here. When we
A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here in Anaheim, a 6-4 game. As the Athletics look to add 2 on, 2 outs. Reed Detmers, the starting pitcher, out of the game. 92 pitches, 5 2/3. 8 hits, the 6 runs, again all piling up in 1 inning. There was some good, and there was obviously a tough frame.
And that's just kind of how this thing goes sometimes, Jenny. This thing being the game of baseball. I think you look at that tough frame, that 3rd inning where the A's were able to put together 6 runs worth of offense. After that, Reed Detmers, even without his best command, still able to navigate this lineup one more time and keep this A's club off the board. Now, threatening here in the 6th with 2 outs as Langoliers will take his at bat against Fermin. Still a chance for the A's to scratch another run or 2 across.
Langoliers fouls off the first pitch.
That's kind of why I highlighted Jacob Lopez getting through 3 2/3. Even with his team winning the ball game, if you're able to preserve the bullpen to the extent that Reed Detmers did, you're doing yourself, you're doing the skipper a favor, and you've allowed this offense to climb back into the game.
It's been a good couple weeks for Shea Langoliers. He's reaching 17 straight games. Streak on the line here tonight, 0 for 3. Over that time, though, you saw the numbers. Batting close to 400. Scored 14 runs, a lot of extra base hits, including 4 homers. One and 2. Shea will take his time out. And we'll check out all the hits Shea's piled up. That's a good fireworks show.
You call Shea Langoliers the Rainbird, looking like a sprinkler the way he's just spread it around.
58 hits. Tops in the AL. Foul. Down the line into left field. Simon Hernandez on base. 2-2. Everyone in the lineup tonight with a hit for the Athletics, except for their leadoff hitter. And a 3-2 count.
Well, 3-2 runners on first and second. They will be off with the pitch. Good opportunity for Langoliers to find an alley.
We'll load him up for Kurtz on deck. Here's the pitch.
Oh,
And they
Timer.
called a pitch clock violation, so that's a way to load the bases right there. Juiced for Kurtz. Jay has now reached 18 straight. Nick Kurtz earlier in the game. 42 consecutive games on base. An RBI single in the third. Started the scoring for the A's.
Well, we showed you the stats for Mike Trout with bases loaded. 6 grand slams. Nick Kurtz in his young career already with 3.
Think about that. 16 at-bats with 3 grand slams. Trout had 6 in 99 at-bats.
9. There's the big fish.
One and two. And a foul ball.
Fermin with that heavy sinker, good slider combo. We show you a four-seamer every now and then, sprinkle in a changeup.
Heim leads the way for the Athletics at third. And here's a ground ball that'll get through. Heim coming home for insurance. Hernandez behind him. Add him up. Nick Kurtz with a 2 RBI single. It is 8-4.
Go to work, Kurtzy. And you can see the approach the second time tonight. Nick Kurtz is just taking a sinker right back up the middle. Just a professional approach. And on a pitch like that, where you don't think that you can lift it the way that we're used to seeing Nick Kurtz lift balls like that, that is a pro approach at the plate.
We're going to have a pinch hitter. Off the bench will come the left-handed hitter Tyler Soderstrom, replacing Colby Thomas in the A's lineup. We saw the lefty and Lawrence Butler off the bench yesterday in the 9th. Got a big-time pinch hit, responsible for the lone run the A's had going into the bottom of the 9th yesterday for JT Ginn.
And something we've seen with Soderstrom, we saw it during the homestand, was him starting to pepper the ball the other way towards left field. A few doubles over that series against the Giants. A couple of them to left field.
Love the 2-out rally that the A's have going on tonight. All the runs scored with 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. Kurtz taking off, no throw down.
And how about the jump? Nicky Nukes, aka Nicky Scoots.
That is now 6 stolen bases for Nick Kurtz.
How about it? Great shuffle here.
Both runners in scoring position. Soderstrom takes a strike.
Well, now should Soderstrom get one of those sinkers away or maybe a changeup away, you might see him once again just kind of pepper it the other way, bring home another couple runs.
Lifted in the air. Shallow left. It's going foul. And making the catch will be Jose Siri. Got there in time to snag it. 2 left on, but 2 came across. It's 8-4. The 2026 All-Star Teacher Award presented by Provident Credit Union. Go to NBCSportsCalifornia.com/AST to check out Brad Davis of Orangevale Adventist School in Orangevale, as well as other finalists, and vote now. The winning teacher school will receive $30,000. A note, shout out to all the teachers. I can't even imagine this time of year. Ah, look at that.
How about that?
Holy cow.
Look at that.
Sweet.
He's sitting in the Mauler's lap.
That's awesome. He's so great. Josh Lowe's going to pinch hit for the Angels. A chopper to short. Hernandez, a quick fire over to Kurtz, and one quick out for Perkins. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Defensive change as well. Tyler Soderstrom remains in the game. Placing Colby Thomas in left field.
Yeah, that's a nice play by Darell Hernandez. See him kind of jump, and that's to get his momentum on that back foot so he can fire as soon as he makes the quick exchange with the hands.
Perkins against Zach Neto now. 1 for 2 with a walk. He scored one of the 4 runs for the Angels. I want to mention a team that really struggled at home here, Dallas, offensively. And we saw them with the 2 runs yesterday. They took the win. They'd scored 2 runs or less 9 of their last 10. Now they got 4 tonight on the losing end by 4 runs. As a team, batting 200 at home.
Not great.
That's the Mendoza line.
Not great.
So I want to finish my shout out to the teachers. I can't imagine how many squirrely children you have this time of year ready for summer break.
I mean, we are just, what, weeks away.
Weeks away. My kids days away. As Memorial Day approaches, June, hang with them. Thanks for all your hard work in the classroom, educating the future of America.
A very thankless job.
No question. And we've seen a lot of great artists tonight in the building. We should offer Spider-Man ball. And I can't wait to collect that amazing piece of art.
I mean, that is fantastic. The Mauler, one of the best. I've got a few pieces of his at home hanging up.
This one drilled out towards left. Soderstrom moving back. It's going to go off the base of the wall. And extra bases for Zach Neto. He sure comes up with those late in games.
Not a terrible pitch. 96, right at the very bottom of the strike zone. But Neto, kind of like he did last night, able to go down and get to the fastball. It was going to be a double either way, fielded cleanly or not off the wall there.
Runner in scoring position for Mike Trout. Takes a strike. Some MVP chants scattered throughout the crowd here at the Big A. With 3-time MVP. Ground ball, Darell Hernandez with the slide, and at first, Trout is out.
Well, Trouty, as he ran through the bag and saw the out call, kind of wagged the finger, said, no. See if Kurt Suzuki wants to take a look at this. This could help extend the inning here. Looks like they're going to put the cans on. Zook says, yeah, take a peek.
We'll see how the manager's challenge ends up, but what a hustle play from the A shortstop.
Yeah, ball hit hard up the middle. Darrell's got to get to his left quickly. Goes into the slide, pops up, makes a strong throw. Nick Kurtz does a nice job of digging it out on the back end. Ooh, very close. And remember, it's about the ball getting to the back of the glove here, not necessarily being fully secured with the glove closed. We're taking a look here on the big board. Ooh, I don't know.
Bag's out.
I mean, it looks that way.
From that angle, it looks like the ball is in the pocket of the glove of Kurtz before that foot is fully down.
What you wonder is just if that heel of Mike Trout, who does land on the front of the bag, textbook, ends up beating that throw to the back of the glove. Man, this is one of the closer challenges I think we've seen this year.
Well, close back in New York, too, because Chris Cuccione, the crew chief, just told Perkins to take some warm-up pitches. This might take a minute.
Well, and you see the dig there. That ball hits the glove and kind of rolls up into the glove. And so if we're talking about impact on the glove, I feel like that ball beat Mike Trout. I mean, that's about as close as it gets, folks.
Looks like Guccione's getting the call.
After review the call in the field stands, the runner's out.
Yeah.
Los Angeles will lose their challenge.
Darell Hernandez with a big smile. He's pretty pumped after he made that play, rightfully so.
Well, look, it took everything that Darrell had, not only to get to this baseball, but to pop up and get enough on the throw all in one fell swoop. And Nick Kurtz able to dig this thing out just in the nick of time. Atta baby D, let's go.
Two outs, Neto at third. Force him up and a called strike. And 1 for 3. Moving to the 4 runs for the Angels. Chopped to third. Geloff's there. And that leave Neto stranded. Score remains 8-4. We'll move to the 7th.
Folks, the Pinstripes are in town as Shea Langoliers and the A's take on Ben Rice and the New York Yankees starting Friday, May 29th. You can kick off the summer with a high-stakes weekend featuring a beach towel giveaway Sacramento Saturday and a kids' water bottle giveaway for Stompin' Sunday. Don't miss the chance to see this legendary AL matchup. You can get tickets right now at athletics.com/tickets.
Ben Rice, who has been the talk of the town. MLB 16 homers for Ben Rice. That ties Aaron Judge on that Yankees team. You see Josh Lowe winning the game after pinch hitting.
I'm all about the beach towel giveaway. You going to get yourself a beach towel?
I don't know where this is going. I don't like it, but just go ahead and get there as fast as you can.
Just
quick and painless.
Just asking if you're going to get a beach towel.
Popped up. Thank you, Brent Rooker, for putting the ball in action. Shallow center. And the shortstop will call it Neto with the catch. 1 out. New pitcher, Dallas. Let's move on.
Yes, we've got a new arm on the mound for the Halos. 4th game for Ryan Johnson this year. He's a man on a mission, as it appears. Right now, mission to try to keep base runners at bay. 2.68 whip. Try to chip away at that.
1-0 count against Henry Bolte. Bolte in the air, shallow center, and this time the second baseman Peraza will make the grab.
I was just wondering about the beach towel because you
There's 2 outs. You should never start a story with 2 outs.
talking about you took a trip to the beach today, right?
I did. Nice long walk on the beach. It was beautiful. Great morning. Zach Geloff's up. There's not a flipper giveaway, so no, I won't be there.
Well, I was just wondering if it was a beach that allowed dogs off leash. You had them dogs running loose on the beach.
First of all, I kept my shoes on, number one.
Oh, so you're one of them? Shoes on the beach? Wow.
I was on
You
the
learn a lot about
I was on the Strand. Actually, I'm not a big fan of sand. I do love going to the beach, but stayed on the boardwalk today. Got a little power walk in, you know. Good girl walk, Dallas. You know about that.
When you say beach, I'm really more of a, voyeur. I like to stare at the sand, not so much be on the beach. I get it.
Listen, I was working out, so I didn't want to sandy feet and then have to put the socks back on. and
Easy,
shoes.
Rocky.
Driven for Zach Geloff out to right field and off the wall. Geloff with the hand up for a homer. Home run number 6 for Zach Geloff is down 9-4 A's.
Well, Jenny, in the ballpark, I'm unsure. I think because the way Adele made contact with the wall, you could hear a thud. And there wasn't a quick definitive signal.
Nevertheless, a chain, an elephant mask, and a 9-4 lead.
I'm with it. Geloff catches a slider middle. And speaking of beach, it's time for a little backside boogie. This ball just crept over. And this is what we're talking about. I mean, that ball just off that digital scoreboard.
1.5 feet above the yellow line out there and right. It's been a good day for the boys in green and gold at the plate. 10 hits, 9 runs. Jonah Heim's been in the mix. He had a double in the 6th. And one hopper to first. Shonowell will jog it to the bag, and that will be the 7th inning. A Zach Geloff solo shot. And the A's up by 5 as we stretch in Anaheim. Well, no shock that Zach Geloff's home run came with 2 outs, because all 9 runs for the Athletics tonight with 2 outs in the game. Insurance is great. And you love to see the A's scoring in a couple different frames here tonight after the big 3rd inning where they tallied up 6. Now handed over to the right-handed pitcher in Scott Barlow.
And Scott Barlow, another guy out of this A's bullpen who has come in and silenced offenses at times. Looking for a little more of that right now as the A's offense has been able to build a little bit of a gap here between they and the Angels.
Soler with a deep drive out towards left, but going foul, and it'll be a souvenir. Well, you got to run for it, though. In the empty second deck.
I mean, that ball's hammered. To end up foul, as far as that ball went, in the second deck.
You can do that to a baseball. Just glad it was in foul territory. This one fair to Geloff on the ground. One gone. Those 2-out runs, Dallas. 84 runs this year for the Athletics now scored with 2 outs. That's 40% of the offense. We talked a lot last year about the long ball providing over 50% of the offense. A's have found a different way to score this year.
And that right there, I think, speaks to the makeup of this lineup. We talk so much about wanting to be able to pass the baton and just have quality at bats. Well, no better time to do both of those things than with 2 outs. If you can keep that line moving, create traffic on the bases, drive runs in, all with 2 outs. I mean, it is such a demoralizer.
Popped up, shallow left, 3 A's on it, and it'll be Darell Hernaiz with the grab, 2 gone. Jo Adell retired. Oswald Peraza up to bat. So 8th most in the majors for the Athletics with those 2-out runs. A's need a win in a big way. They've lost 3 straight. Lost last night put them below 500 for the first time since April 10th. They continue to lead the AL West. But you look at the last couple of weeks, Dallas, here in the month of May, just a 6-10 record.
Well, I think that's something that they want to see change, is Peraza just flailing at a breaking ball from Barlow. You know, it's one thing to lead the division. It's another to be leading a division that might not be one of the stronger divisions across baseball right now, and you're not happy with a sub 500 record at any point in time. It's something that helps cushion the blow, the fact that you are the lead horse in this division race at the time. But I know the expectations are much greater. And folks at home might be saying, well, I mean, you're still happy with the fact that you're in third. Of course you are. But it's understanding that the fashion in which you sit in first place is something that you're not happy with, knowing that you could be much better, significantly better than you are right now.
That's going to dump into the glove of Nick Kurtz. Going back to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Scott Barlow. We'll go to the 8th. A's 9, Angels 4.
Well, we know how it goes with college and grad students, Jenny. Things could get a little hairy. We're calling all college and grad students. You can grab your friends and head to the ballpark with this special offer. Get $10 tickets on select regular season games throughout the remainder of the 2026 season. Get your discounted tickets, athletics.com/value, as Jeff McNeil once again gonna squeak one through.
Providing some value. The contact hitter with the leadoff hit. Second hit of the night for McNeil.
Well, it is. Second hit of the night. This one got a pair of eyeballs. Going to see its way through the right side.
That'll bring up Darell Hernaiz. Scores on a bunt, pulls back, and a strike. Hernaiz a single, a walk. He scored 2 runs. Love that from a 9-hole hitter. I think that's going to be our image of the summer, by the way. The boys of summer are now tarps off. It's the tarps off movement.
Tarpless season is among us.
Oh, goodness. And in May, sometimes the weather matches and sometimes it doesn't.
Our dear friend Spilly. not necessarily riding a heat wave out there in Colorado.
Oh, and Spielberg's all bundled up tonight. Our friend Julia Morales with the Astros. She has a big parka on against the Twins. Astros beat the Twins, by the way, 2-1. Rangers bested the Rockies in the frigid Mile High, 10-0, and the Mariners working right now, bottom of the 8th. They have a 1-0 lead over the White Sox. Talked about the tight division race it could potentially end up being in the American League West. Popped up right side. Shonowell on the move in foul territory. Get the grab right before the railing. That'll be the first out. Flip the order back to Shea Langoliers. Crazy to think, though, with the A's leading the division at 23-24, that the last time every team in the AL West was under 500 in May or later, you go back to, of course, the strike season in 1994. It was on August 11th.
Talking 2+ decades.
Gianni said Langoliers would win a round. 0-1.
Over 30 years ago.
Whew. No way. No way the 90s was 30 years ago. Come on.
A hot minute ago.
But the 80s was also 30 years ago, because you and I were born in the early 80s, and I'm pretty sure when our birthdays come around this summer,
Oh.
right, 30-something. 19 consecutive games at reaching base for Langoliers, and it happened on a pitch clock violation.
You'll take it. Not giving it back.
He walked in the 6th. He's still looking for a hit in the game, wants to join his teammates. Out of the starters, batters 2 through 9, all with hits. Hitters count for Langoliers here with 1 out and 1 on in the top of the 8th. And the pitch from Johnson.
Look out.
Inside.
Well, time now to take a look at tonight's powerful performance brought to you by Xfinity. Nick Kurtz, a couple different times tonight, stepped up with runners in scoring position and has delivered. 2 for 4 with a couple singles, 3 runs knocked in. He scored himself. He's stolen a bag.
Stuff in the stat sheet, as they say. That box score seems to be full almost each and every night when Nick Kurtz is playing. And a liner into right, a fair ball. Racing around the bases. McNeil home. Langoliers just feet behind him. Nick Kurtz with a 5 RBI night on his 3rd hit.
And Nicky Nukes has been nuking the baseball all night long. 2 shots back up the middle. And this double down the right field line. That ball is squared up proper. Karam played by Adele, but not before 2 runs would come across. Have yourself a night, Nick Kurtz. 110 off the bat.
Rounder from Soderstrom to second. Ball's had to leave his feet. He'll make the out at first as Kurtz moves to third. 2 gone.
And there's just so many different things you can marvel at when it comes to Nick Kurtz from an offensive perspective. We try to do our best to highlight what he also brings to the table defensively, but I mean, there's just things that get lost in the shuffle. We're talking about 99th percentile average exit velocity for Kurtzy. That's about 95 miles an hour on average, folks. On average.
He's a big Kurtz fan with some great seats. The Big A to check him out up close and personal. In the air to left. Going back is Jose Siri. He's going to turn and out of the park. A home run for Brent Rooker.
I mean, That is back-to-back at-bats where the baseball's been set aflame. That'll send some Halos fans headed towards the exit. The route is on. Brent Rooker all over a fastball middle. Let Rook cook. Speaking of Cook, 110 off the barrel. That ball is absolutely sizzled.
7th home run of the season for Brent Rooker. Gives the Athletics 13 runs. That's their highest run total of the season. And Dallas, after a brutal loss like last night, he almost needed a laugher coming back, right?
Well, I mean, you can say it for both offenses. Much more productive in tonight's ball game for both sides, but watching this outburst for the Athletics, I mean, it makes you feel like they just took all their frustration out that they had built up against Ureña tonight on Detmers and the rest of this bullpen for the Halos, because it has just been an absolute bludgeoning of the baseball.
Well, it has been a homestand where the Halos arms are already ready to quit it. There's a ground ball. And that will be the final out as Bolte's retired. 45 runs the Angels have allowed through the 5 games of their homestand. 13 tonight, and Brent Rooker. Nice exclamation point in the 8th. This game summary is brought to you by Toyota. Hang a crooked number in the 3rd and then keep on moving later in the game. 13 total runs for the Athletics here as they lead the Halos 13-4. It's a shortened start from Jacob Lopez, but the offense doing all the heavy lifting here today. Nick Kurtz 3 for 5, a double, 2 singles. He's driven in 5. He's scored 2 runs. And oh yeah, he continues to reach base. 42 consecutive games for him. How about the offense? 11 runs, Dallas, with 2 outs. That's happened one other time this season. It was back in West Sacramento against the Astros. So both those times coming against division opponents. But the A's didn't have a game like that from 2020 to 2025. We have an ABS challenge. Shonowell wants to see it. We're waiting for it here on the big screen.
I don't think we're going to get it.
It's not appearing. There it is.
Here we go.
A little delayed.
Yeah.
And it is confirmed a strike.
Call is confirmed. Los Angeles has 1 challenge remaining.
So Hogan Harris, the new pitcher for the A's, has a 1-2 count against Nolan Shonowell. Just some defensive changes as well in a minute. Foul ball. And Lawrence Butler now in right field for the Athletics. Nico Williams has entered as the shortstop, and Daryl Hernandez slides over to the right side of the infield, taking over for Jeff McNeil. Shonowell heading down to first before the umpire even called hit by pitch. He was halfway down the line, so he decided to take himself there. It will be a base runner for Hogan Harris.
A big overhand curveball from Hogan right off that elbow pad of Nolan Shonowell.
Gonna bring up Logan O'Hoppe. 1 for 3 is the Angels catcher. Took a strike from Hogan Harris. Harris got up and started moving in the 9th inning yesterday. Didn't get a chance to come in the game. Pitches inside to O'Hoppe. Kind of interesting situation that was unfolding there in the 9th after that first hit. You obviously don't want the bullpen to get up and working when you have a no-hitter going on. It was still a really close game, 1-0.
Well, and again, I think Marcotte did a good job of explaining where he was coming from and the fact that you're going to have time to get Hogan Harris up and rolling if the matchup indeed was for Mike Trout, and you can understand why if you understand the profile of Hogan Harris.
There's a liner into left for O'Hoppe. Shonowell's going to head towards third. Soderstrom with the throw in, cut off by the new shortstop Williams. Second and third, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th.
O'Hoppe able to stay on this one. Angels trying to make a little noise here. Second and third, nobody out.
Josh Lowe for the second time.
But as it's been documented, Mike Trout maybe a bit more success on pitches down in the strike zone as opposed to high velocity at the top of the strike zone. Hogan Harris, good fastball at the top of the zone. Kind of like you just saw right there.
Swing and a miss for Lowe, 1-2. Angels are 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight. And Geloff can't get there. Tries to reach for the ball into left field. That'll bring in 2 Angels. Back-to-back doubles. Close play at the plate, but the ball got away from Heim.
Well, Lowe just kind of soft serves it over to the left side. This ball off the very tip of the glove of a diving Geloff. And that ball slowed down just enough, even with Soderstrom hustling in and the good arm. Makes a good throw, a throw on line. And unfortunately, that ball ends up getting caught up with the runner. We'll see here is O'Hoppe coming through. That ball just kind of kicks under the backside of the backstop.
Zach Neto up for the 4th time. Double and a walk, he scored a run. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it. Mentioned the 45 runs that the Angels have allowed this homestand. 41 of those coming at the hands of the mighty Los Angeles Dodgers over the weekend. And what the Athletics have done here today, 14 total runs scored in this series so far. They've been outscored 45-10. Make that 11. 45-11. There were 5 games of a homestand. 1 win to show for it. It happened in the 9th inning yesterday off the bat. Zach Neto.
It's a sizable gap.
1-2.
Not quite the run differential you'd like to see.
Well, this is a team that has the worst run differential in Major League Baseball. It's 59 coming into the game tonight. Hogan Harris trying to get the first out of his appearance here in the 8th. There it is, strike 3, but it's going to be a challenge, so we'll have to wait here, see if Zach Neto's right.
I mean, this was low paint. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Ring them up.
The call is confirmed. Los Angeles is out of challenges.
I mean, the 2 challenges against Hogan Harris pitches right there, living on the edge.
Well, Neto just doing a little transfer of information there to Vaughn Grissom. Here's the matchup, Trout and Harris.
He's built a 6-0 lead. It was Mike Trout that had a solo home run. Get the Angels on the board. They cut it 6-4 after a 3-run fourth. Popped up, Kurtz on it, into foul territory, and got it right before the netting. You can see Kurtz go, ooh.
How about it?
That was close.
And how about the fans who were very close to trying to make a play themselves? Looks like they decided to lay out for the big fella. Kurt's doing a good job of taking stock of where he's at. How about a hug? Oh. I mean, a good attempt at trying to play it off. Unfortunately, with replay, we know that he made a clear effort for the baseball. Got beat out by the better athlete.
How is that story going to grow over the years about his encounter with Nick Kurtz?
So I dove onto the field.
I ended up in his pocket, and he carried me around for a few innings.
Next thing you know, he caught the ball, kissed me on the cheek, thanked me, and not quite sure that's how that ended up.
He'll probably thank me in his Hall of Fame speech. We'll see. Swing and a miss. 1-2. All sorts of ways you can meet your favorite players these days.
Well, it reminds me, I think it was Prince Fielder ended up in the stands and took a little nacho for the road.
Yeah, where's our nacho helmet friend? Couldn't get those seats tonight. 2-2. Netting makes it a little harder now, right? Get a snack during the game. Joel Kuhnel warming up for the Athletics. Grissom with a full count. Liner into left, Soderstrom there to meet it. 2 more scored, with the Athletics still in control, 13-6. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by Service Champions. Well, the Southern California stay continues. 2 more against the Angels, and then it'll be off to sunny San Diego, America's finest city. More interleague play, meeting the San Diego Padres. Seattle coming to town next week, as well as the New York Yankees. There should be a fun homestand on the horizon. Come enjoy Memorial Day with us on Monday and stay throughout the week. The Mauler. All right, you got to get me down there, Dallas. You know where he is.
Well, I tell you what, there's a good chance we'll be able to hang out with the Mauler tomorrow before the ball game. I think Mauler might be in the house to watch some batting practice, if that's the case.
Jack's here, sitting behind him. The Road Trip Renegades. Out and about.
We can get you that. What do you think? We hang that above the toilet in the
In your guest bathroom? Brent Suter on now for the Halos.
Suter B, one of my favorite human beings in baseball.
Isn't he the greatest?
He is just a peach of a human.
Well thought of throughout the game. Part of the player committee. And we represent the Players Association come collective bargaining agreement time. Did you know that expires after this season?
That's what I've heard.
Heard anything about that? 1-1 here for Zach Geloff. Geloff, Heim. Coming up, and it'll be a base hit to start. Zach Geloff into right field. A 3-hit night for Geloff.
Swing it, G. And what you love is you've seen the power from Geloff to the opposite field. But just the fact that he's driving the baseball with authority the other way. And I tell you, I'll continue to say that everyday opportunities for guys, you watch it translate on both sides of the baseball, and I think it just makes them feel like they're that much closer to being the everyday player and the well-rounded player that they've been their entire life. You get up to the big leagues, and sometimes you got to take a back seat to some guys who are already in line to get regular playing time. You're going to find yourself kind of moving around the field. I mean, we're watching it with Darell Hernaiz, who's getting regular run at the shortstop spot with the unfortunate injury to Jay Willie.
An 0-2 count here for Jonah Heim. What you'd like to see on a night like tonight, 14 hits, 13 runs, evenly spread throughout the lineup. We talked about the 2-out opportunities. Seen a couple home runs. He's built their offense in a variety of ways. Very big third inning, 6 runs scored. They haven't let off the gas. Jonah Heim out on strikes. It'll be the first out here in the 9th. Gelof has 3 hits, Kurtz with 3 hits, Lawrence Butler takes a strike. For the first time after coming in the game defensively. And check him, and Lawrence did break the play 0-2. What Brent Suter impression is your favorite? Do you got one?
I think it might be the array of Jim Carrey offerings he has.
He does Jim Carrey as a movie character better than Jim Carrey ever did himself, especially as Ace Ventura. True comedian. I think he got his Terry Francona down pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Going to the ground ball to second. Underhanded, 2 gone.
Well, look, you gotta be able to play this game with a sense of humor. Because sometimes it has a sick sense of humor. I think we saw that last night.
Certainly.
But if you take yourself too seriously in this game, I think very quickly you can become overwhelmed. It'll chew you up and spit you out with a quickness, and just keep right on moving. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. You're going to find yourself in some tough situations, and I think you're better served to be able to learn how to parry the punches, just how to roll with them as they come.
0-2 on Hernaiz. Imagine in the bullpen too, when you have a little bit of idle time as you wait around.
Oh.
The laughs can roll. And being a left-hander that Brent Suter is, well, you have to kind of match the definition, don't you? Of a left-handed reliever.
Well, and he's kind of reminds me of the comedian Nate Bargatze. It's good, clean fun. But, I mean, he'll have you in stitches.
2-2. He's an author as well. Wrote a children's book.
I might be able to read that one.
Yeah, you might get through the words. The Binky Bandit. Hernaiz into right, and that'll be a hit for Darell. Coming home is Gelof at an RBI. All got in there quick. Darrell was jogging down first, but able to get his second hit.
There you go. 2 for 4 on the night for Darrell. Couple runs. Suter B trying to run the fastball in on the right-hander, and Darrell able to fight it off, dump it in front of Adell. Came up with a strong throw. Ball cut off, though. Maybe hoping they'd be able to cut Darrell down at first, getting a little too aggressive around the bag. That was not the case. They'll keep that line moving. That's another 2-out run for the Athletics.
Chalk it up on a night where the Athletics have been able to get 14 runs. Season high continues. Ground ball to first. And Shea, unfortunately, not going to come up with a hit tonight. All the other starters have them. Shea has reached a total team effort here in a 14-6 game.
A's fans, if you're not early, well, you're going to be missing out. Don't miss out. Introducing our new pregame perks package. That happens Tuesday, May 26th. Random fans can win surprise giveaways as well as exclusive experiences, including batting practice passes, seat upgrades, autographed items, and more. The early fan wins big. Make sure you're one of them at athletics.com/tickets.
The late fan here tonight's winning big too. If you're in the green and gold, you're feeling great. Watching the Athletics up 14-6. Bottom of the 9th. Joel Kuhnel looking for the final 3 outs so the boys can shake hands.
And it'll be big Joel Kuhnel hunting those outs. 18th time we've seen the big fella on the mound.
That one to Jorge Soler, and a liner right to Zach Geloff.
And I think that is something we have come to appreciate about Joel Kuhnel, is he can get you outs and he can get them quickly. You know, I will continue to go back to the very brief yet extremely effective save that he logged against the Mets. Just a 4-pitch outing. But I think in a series like that, on a road trip like that, ending the way it did, 5-1, you just took a huge bite out of the Big Apple. I think a lot of guys that series, though, walked away with the confidence of kind of being back in the big leagues and knowing that they're going to be serving a purpose on this team, and not just in the big leagues by happenstance, but having earned it. Joe Kuhnel was a guy who was on the radar all throughout spring training. As numbers would have it, he just unfortunately would not break camp with the team, but knew that when the phone rang, he was going to be one of the early calls. And he's come up and has been dynamite.
He certainly has. Big piece, big weapon out there in the bullpen. Close pitch, 1-2. You look at the A's, they're the only team in the majors with 4 pitchers to have 3 or more saves. Kuhnel, a part of that bunch. Harris, Leiter Jr., Jack Perkins. Swing and a miss. Strikeout of Adell, 2 gone.
To the point, you get them outs, you get them quickly. See that ball just disappear under the bat of Adell.
6 pitches for 2 outs here in the 9th. Looking for the final one against Oswald Peraza. And hit by a pitch. Kuhnel's going to have to face another batter with a runner on. It'll be the left-handed hitter Nolan Shonowell coming up.
Ball just ran all the way in on Peraza. He's got an elbow pad. He'll be fine.
Back in the strike zone, an 0-1 count. Tomorrow, Game 3, Aaron Savali. 5-1 on the season for the Athletics. Been fantastic in that starting rotation. He'll face Jack Kahanowitz. I'll have you spell Kohanowitz tomorrow while I cover all the papers up.
K.
Keep going.
Well, you said it's tomorrow.
Yeah, you have time to study, I guess. You're right. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball. Backhanded and bobbled down by Hernandez. The game will continue. Give Shawano a base hit. Actually, they're going to give him an error.
Yeah, tough error on Darryl. Darryl had to range a ways over to his right, go down to a knee to field this. Ball kind of climbed up the heel, but we'll go E4 either way.
You know, my hearing on a Tuesday, it's not as clean and crisp as all the other days.
Oh, okay.
So
Days that end in Y.
easy. Logan O'Hoppe. 2-hit night. Getting a double, scored a run. Game over 3 hours this evening.
Well, that's something that I've always tried to point out to fans in conversation that have been after more offense in the game of baseball, but want the game sped up.
Sure.
Here tonight, you see a couple touchdowns put up by the Athletics, and well, it's taken them a little over 3 hours for this game to unfold.
2-2. And last night in a well-pitched game, pitchers duel. A no-hit bid going into the 9th. 2:21. And a swing and a miss. That's the ball game here in Anaheim tonight. A big win for the Athletics. Bouncing back from the disappointment yesterday, 14-6. They score a season high in runs. 15 hits. Everyone involved up and down the lineup. And Nick Kurtz shocking Dallas right in the middle of it on a 3-hit night.
Well, he had a big evening, and you're talking about a guy who, Jenny, twice came up with runners in scoring position and hammered the ball back up the middle, then late in the game able to turn on a pitch and hammer it down the right field line. I think you saw multiple guys spray the ball all over the field this evening, and I think being able to bounce back after such a tough loss in the fashion that they have tonight, that speaks volumes for who this team is from a personality perspective. And I think it also shows what this lineup is capable of doing on any given night when they can build the innings that we talked about seeing them build at the beginning of the ball game. Look no further than this offensive onslaught tonight.
A's snapped that losing streak. They're back to 500, 24-24. Mentioned Aaron Civale. He will be making his 10th start of the season, facing Jack Kohanowitz tomorrow in Game 3 of the 4-game set. Join us for that. We'll have pregame coverage starting at 6 o'clock Pacific time. Well, stay tuned now because we have a fun one to wrap up with the boys in the studio. A's Cast on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota, starts now.
Put up 2 touchdowns. Most runs they've scored this season, 14-6, a win over the Halos. Makes you feel a little bit better after last